In this video, I'm checking out a game called Tides of Tomorrow, genuinely one of the more interesting games I've played recently. The concept is really cool and I want to get into that, but the Steam Deck experience, yeah, there are some issues and honestly some red flags right from the start. So without further ado, let's get into it. I played Tides of Tomorrow at one of Steam's Next Fest and the concept stood out to me immediately. At its core, it's a first-person narrative adventure, but the twist is that your story is shaped by other players. You pick someone else's playthrough and you follow their decisions. If they help a certain region, it's doing well when you get there and the people there are friendly to you, but if they made a mess of it, you're dealing with that instead. If they made friends with an NPC, you get to reap the benefits of that friendship, and some missions even allow you to directly compete with those who came before you, or you can leave stuff for those who come after. And you can switch to a different player's story mid-run. So you're not just locked into one path, you can course correct or you can go in completely different direction depending on whose choices you want to follow. What I like about this is that it changes how you think about decisions. You're not just asking what do I want to do with my game, you're also asking do I want to clean up what that person did, do I want to just roll with it, do I want to make a mess for somebody after me. It creates these little moments where you're genuinely weighing things up rather than just clicking through dialogue. The game has very high replayability because of this, different players, different world states, different outcomes, and I've seen games try this kind of connected storytelling before and it usually feels very half-baked. Here it actually feels really good. Now let's talk performance on the Steam Deck, and the first red flag hits immediately. The game hides graphical settings when it detects you're running on a Steam Deck. That's never a good sign. Developers sometimes do this because they want to force some preset and they think what they force on you is going to be the best way to enjoy it. But from my experience, people who own a Steam Deck like to tinker. Now I tried the launch command Steam Deck equals 0 to force it into a no Steam Deck mode so it wouldn't know I was running on the deck. It didn't work. And I tried different things for a while and currently it's not possible. Maybe this is something that will change after launch, but I am able to access all the settings on PC, just not on the Steam Deck, so I don't know if they're gonna change that any time in the future. You're already limited before you even start tweaking anything. Out of the box, the game defaults to a 77% resolution scale. It looks rough and it runs rough. I tested 66%, I tested 50%, and even at 50%, you still can't hit a stable 30 FPS most of the time. The best balance I found was 60% resolution scale, 30 FPS lock, and FOV set at 80. And even that isn't fully consistent. Where it really falls apart is that performance is all over the place depending on where you are in the game. There are sections, mainly on the boat and in the sea, where you can actually get to around 50 FPS. It feels fine, it looks okay, and you would almost think it was going to be alright, and then you navigate to one of the settlements and you hit a heavier scene and it really tanks. And those settlements is where most of the gameplay is. There is a race section in the game where I had to compete with a different player and I was sitting at around 12 FPS at some point. That's not playable, there's nothing to adjust your way out of that, it's just a slideshow. Lighting and shadows also break completely in certain scenes, and it's not like a minor flicker, we're talking full visual breakdown. So even when performance is holding up, it can look pretty bad. And this game looks amazing on PC on high settings. And not that it runs badly overall, it's that you never know when it's about to fall off a cliff. I also tested lossless scaling, and the short answer is if a game can't hold 30 FPS on its own, lossless scaling isn't going to fix it. It helps in the lighter scenes, but the moment you hit something demanding, it falls apart again. So it's definitely not worth it. Controls on the deck are fine, nothing to complain about there, and the game feels okay to navigate. It also has several nice accessibility features, which I always appreciate. On the OLED, I was getting around 2.5 hours of battery, which is actually a decent result, but honestly, at 30 FPS locked, with the settings turned down as far as they are, you would expect it to be better, and the performance trade-off makes it hard to care about the battery life either way. Tides of Tomorrow is genuinely an interesting game. The shared story system is something I haven't really seen done this way before, and it really works. The idea of stepping into someone else's playthrough and deciding whether to follow their path or diverge from it is really cool, and it gives the game a lot in terms of replay value. But on the Steam Deck, I can't recommend it right now. The performance is too inconsistent, some sections are just not playable, and the fact that the game actively limits your settings on the Steam Deck doesn't really help. If you want to experience it properly, a more capable machine is the way to go for now. The game comes out tomorrow, and if you decide to buy it, you can follow my own playthrough. You will be able to see it when you select a new game. Now, if you do decide to try this game on the Steam Deck and you have a different experience, let me know how that goes in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, and if you want to stay up to date with how new games run and feel on the Steam Deck, join my Steam group and follow the curator page. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.